Morning, lovelies. So I forgot to film placing the art down, but it's a sticker that I printed from one of my favorite illustrators, Jacqueline. I can't remember her last name, she's terrible, but I'll link her down in the description box. I chose this piece of art not because of Valentine's Day necessarily, although that had something to do with it, but more because this woman looked like the character that I'm working with right now, Kaya. And she reminds me of Little Red. She's got red hair and all that other stuff, and the nice personality. So I felt like it set the tone for me finishing that project this month, as well as my re-release of her first book. One of the things I also really like about this picture is the egg in her hair, because my stepson, that's all he could see for a while, and I thought that was funny. Anyways, I'm covering this with glitter tape, which I love. I thought it made it pop really nicely. Anyways, so you'll see in a second that I'm going to start my monthly calendar, my first one, again. Last month I used it to keep track of incoming items for my Transcendent Kickstarter box, which is shipping this month. And I found that really helpful. I'm still working out what to do with this exactly, but, you know, bullet journaling is a in-progress type of planning system. So, alright, I'll be back for our next spread. So here I'm working on my master task. Here I am working on my master task list again. I'm having trouble with those words today for some reason. It's the same old thing. I accidentally draw the red lines all the way across my master task list bar here. Later you will see that I white that out when I actually fill this in. I filmed this in two different times, one in the middle of the month to actually set up my month, and then at the end of the month to show you guys my progress, because I think this is getting kind of boring. It's the same thing every single time. I don't think it's going to change anytime soon, so I thought it might be more interesting to watch me do some other parts of my planning, like the upkeep, and showing you my projects and how I'm doing with those, etc. So let me know what you think, but I enjoy watching people write in their bullet journals, so I'm leaving it in there for now. You let me know, okay? In here, once again, is my editorial calendar. It's no different. It's still full. We're transitioning between Transcendent and In the Air since Transcendent came out at the end of December. It's now February and April. We will have In the Air coming out, so we're starting to switch back and forth between the two anthologies and our authors and excerpts and interviews and all those other things. And other than that, this is really the same old thing. I do put a couple stickers at the end that you'll see, and I've been playing with the bear stickers, which I know don't match, they're blue. I know. But there's a bear theme in Little Red and the Surly Bear, of course, which is the prequel to My Love in Red, which is relaunching on the 14th. And I only have about 6,000 words left in that novella, which is going to be really fun. I've been working with this series for almost 10 years because I used to roleplay these characters, if you can believe it, on Facebook. And I'm just glad that they finally get their own actual story. But anyways, I'm going to fill in, as you see, all of these my little pencil markings, and then we'll move on to me catching up. I don't know if anybody is actually curious about this, my color coding, but the light blue is the Transmundane Press blog, the dark blue is the Transmundane newsletter, the light pink coral color is my author blog, my fill in the blankness blog, and then the darker purpley, maybe it's light purple, the purple is my author newsletter. So just in case anybody was wondering what all those mean. Oh, and green is YouTube. So I tend to fall behind mostly on my YouTube videos more than anything else because it's something that I like to do rather than something that's really necessary. But now you can see I've opened up my my transcendent, transmundane, transcendent, I'm getting those mixed up, to fill in some things that I missed, and it happens. Again, if you want to see a look inside of that thing, let me know, because I don't know what you guys are interested in. I kind of, again, do this for myself. I have fun with it, so, alright. So now I'm flipping back. As you see, I penciled in my word of the month, which is optimism here, and I really chose that just because starting new projects, which always leaves me kind of nervous, so I'm thinking optimism will help. Alright, there I just filled in my yearly project. Again, happy dance there, because I'm 6,000 words away from finishing my new project, or one of my new projects, my new writing project. And here I am working on my yearly word count tracker. I hit 7,784 words out of 7,500 words, so I'm 284 words ahead for January. And this is January, by the way, me crossing some stuff off. This is what it looks like when I get through it. I still don't know what I'm doing in that lower box. I used to track my moods, and then I tracked projects, and now I really don't know what to do with that. I'm in the air. If you have a suggestion of something I should track, maybe my editing list or whatnot there, let me know. Alright, so now I am filling out what my week looks like, and you can see I'm making mistakes already. I actually leave my this week and next week in pencil most of the time because I just don't see the point in rewriting it, and I have to do it in pencil first because I make mistakes all the time. And I'm filling out my priorities here, and I got this from, I'm going to butcher her name, Cindy Gutrabaldo. I think I said that right. She's a bullet journaler, and she used to put her priorities for every week, and I found that that's helped me stay focused, so I will be continuing to do that. Of course, my words written, my page edited, my workouts I track house stuff, admin stuff, and then my normal trackers for my weekly just to see my progress and things, and some of those aren't really a progress base, but just more reminding me, hey, you haven't done this yet this week, you should probably do it a little bit more often than you are, like scooping the litter box, which is what scoop means down there when we get there, but I find that it's helpful reminding me of those things. Alright, I'm going to speed through the rest of this before we get to the next part. So now you can see I'm filling out Sunday, and I'm going to fill out Monday too, and just to break down what that looks like, so I highlight my day and the date, and then the little box is for my word count every day. The little circle is because I know I'm going to have to go shopping, it's an event, but mostly I don't use symbols otherwise. I just write down the things I gotta do, and I cross them off when I have to cross them off, and that's it. Oh, and that scoop, the full inbox, means we changed it. We change it every Sunday, so that's what that means, just in case you're wondering. Alright, so now I am filling out my task list. You can see the whiteout where I made those red mistakes. And I have my full list here of the tasks I need from a month, and I take those from my quarterly planning, and my January spread in case there was anything left over, and I wrote that on a separate piece of paper. You can see up in the corner just to make sure that you didn't have to watch me go back and forth. But if you do want to watch me actually brainstorm that out, let me know. I figured it's just going to be a lot of me pausing and writing something and pausing and writing something, but I mean, I'm doing that now. So yeah, let me know if you want to see me do that. And now we're going to mark one of those things off my list. I am going to market plan my Loving Red saga, which is the first one, Loving Red. Shall be published, again, relaunching with a new cover on the 14th, and it's going to be on sale for 99 cents. But I also need to plan out my new one, Little Red, which I believe is coming out in June or July, somewhere around there. And I like to start marketing far before something is coming out, because otherwise you're going to send something out into a world that has no idea what it is and doesn't really care. So it's about building desire and recognition of a cover and a name and a story and all that other stuff. I'm getting better at it. I'm still not perfect at it, but I am getting better at it, at least personally. Our anthologies do pretty well. My personal stuff does okay. And it's about learning what works and what doesn't. And you can see I have a long list for both of those things. Yeah, if you want to see why I do the things that I do and my reasoning behind my marketing plan, let me know about that. But now I am going to be actually planning out what days I'm going to get these things done by, or hope to get these things done by, because if I don't do that, then they all pile up towards the end of when their things need to start going out, and then I get behind, and I don't like being behind. These stickers I actually printed off myself. I have both a Cricut and a Silhouette right now. I'm struggling with both of them, but you can see these stickers printed out pretty well, and it keeps me from having to write them all down, and I'm messing up right here, and I had to peel all of them up, and it did a lot slower than this seemed, because this is sped up. It was very gentle, and it didn't rip my paper, and it made me very happy. But you'll see as I fast forward through this, I'm going to go over it in pen again. But here is essentially my monthly schedule, my monthly plan for each one of the two lists of items that I had on the previous page. So this is how I plan my books. So that's it. It's time for me to get back to work, as per usual. Do you like seeing me plan out my projects like this? Let me know in the comments below, and I'd be glad to show you more things like this. Alright, well, have a good day, guys. Be productive, relax, do things you need to do, and I will see you next time. Bye.